Alright, so Iron Painter 2017 is still going on at 5 in the morning. We are 11 hours into it. And our next video highlight is the exhausted Adam Zets, who is seeing gold everywhere.
Everything is gold.
Everything is gold. He is painting a Start Collecting Stormcast Eternals box, which, dare I say, is greatly assisted by the use of Retributor Armor
spray paint.
Spray paint.
Yes.
So he did not paint everything gold by hand, because there's a lot of gold on these models.
There's a lot of gold.
So that spray paint is well worth its price. I'm not going to use a cliche at that moment. So, Adam, what can you tell us about painting gold and making it look nice?
Well, really you just got to start with the base Retributor Armor, and then you got to shade it, make it look nice. Kind of get it into those recesses. And then...
Which shade do you use?
Reichling Flesh Shade. Let me see if I got it here ready.
Okay, because there are several. There's Reichling Flesh Shade, there's Agrax Earth Shade, there's Sepia.
Reichling Flesh Shade.
Oh, you got a little one.
Yes, I got a little pot.
Alright.
Easy to transport. It gets in all the little details, and then to brighten it up even more, you would use...
Because the shade darkens it all.
Yeah, shade darkens it all. I gotta shake my pot, but I brighten it up with Arc Armor.
Oh yeah, that's a very glittery paint.
Yes, so it's a lot brighter. So it'll brighten all these back up to brighter than what they are now.
And so far, this is just the Retributor Armor base coat.
These are all just base paints,
okay.
Silvers, blues.
What blue did you use on these?
I use Cantor Blue. It's a bit of a darker blue, kind of a medium shade of blue. Looks nice. It's on the box.
Mm-hmm. Blue and gold, very regal.
Blue, gold, a little bit of silver. Looks nice.
Now, on your painting area, we see a lot of teardrop type shaped streaks of paint.
Right.
Why are you wiping your paint like that?
So, to get a little dot of your paint on here, it's to form a tip on your brush to get some nice smaller details. So what you do is you get paint on your brush, or on your palette, like so. And then to wipe off some excess paint that you don't really need, you kind of pull it and twist it and try and get a nice point on your brush.
Uh-huh.
I overloaded a little bit too much there.
Okay. But then how often can you go back to that same palette and use that paint, or is that wasted?
You can go back, well, for instance, I'm going to work on this guy here for his sword. So, get in here, start wiping it on here. Then, whenever I'm done, just get a little bit of water. Go back in here, mix it up, thin it down just a little bit more. Do the same process over again. Just keep going.
So you're also thinning your paint with water?
Yes.
And why do you recommend this?
It's cheaper than Lamia Medium.
But what's the point of thinning your paint?
It helps it flow smoother, so instead of it being glopped up in one, like instead of putting down one really thick coat that could clog up all these little itty bitty runes in his blade here, it'll flow into it, and you can tell where that little bit of a raised detail is over it. So a couple thin coats of that, and it'll be a nice solid silver.
I think every experienced painter I've seen on YouTube or met has always recommended multiple thin coats rather than one thick coat.
Right.
Excellent.
I'm going, just for sake of face, I'm just going to show what happens when you do one thick coat. So,
see this, folks? He's taking one for the team.
I am taking one for the team because I know I can clean it up.
So this is one thick, undiluted coat.
This is thin coats, two thin coats. This is one thick coat. Just put it on there and you see how it's kind of clumping up. And that...
Oh yeah, those runes kind of disappear.
Yeah. So you gotta...
So if...
Thin.
Oh yeah. So if a novice painter were to do this accidentally, he's like, oh, I didn't thin my paints. How could you... You said you're going to clean that up. How do you fix that?
So what I would do is I would get the paint off my brush.
Because part of painting is knowing how to fix your screw-ups, because every painter is going to screw something up.
There is no doubt about that. So get the paint off your brush, come back to it, and just try and work it out of it. So you get all the paint off your brush, that way your brush will absorb the excess paint off of whatever detail you're trying to fix.
So if you put too much paint on, clean out your brush with water, and then use your brush to remove the paint.
Yep.
You're unpainting.
Almost sneezed there. And now it's kind of fixed it up so it looks really similar to this. I still got to work on this here, but it's starting to come back to where it needs to be.
Excellent. All right, so we've got some advice. We haven't seen the shading or the layering on this yet, but we will later.
Yes.
But this is the base coat, Retributor Armor. It is a pricier spray paint, but it is definitely worth it if you're doing a lot of gold. And we got some great advice on creating a good tip on your brushes and thinning your paints, and how to correct an error if you're not thinning your paint. So thank you very much, Adam Zets.
You're welcome.